Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2015. It's so good to be back. I am Sara Stretton, and it's nice to see you two gents again.
Happy to be back. I'm happy to hear that music again.
Me too.
It's what a great way to start the new year. Just that music is uplifting.
It really is.
It is
really
quite
is.
happy.
I'm fresh. I feel good.
I'm surprised you like this music.
Well,
It's so happy
Yeah, but I'm
and
a big
joyous.
I'm a big calypso guy. I like calypso.
Reminds me of South Beach.
Yeah.
Like just rolling on South Beach.
Yeah, like girls wearing
bikinis. String bikinis.
Yeah, or nothing.
That's definitely not what I think of. All right, guys, welcome back. We are going to break down the numbers. We're also going to do, we haven't been here for a couple weeks, so we'll probably talk about what's been going on in December and now in this opening year weekend. We also have a top 5 list, and we're going to do something a little bit bigger than our normal top 5 based on actor or director. We're going to do the top 5 of the year.
Yeah,
Grossing
top 5
movies.
grossing movies.
Yeah, domestically.
That's some of our favorite movies
stay
and
tuned for
stuff.
that because we're going to talk about that. And then what's upcoming, our predictions. And before I guess we get started, I do have to say one thing, that next week I have been told that I have to wear the mask.
Poof.
That's right. It's time to pay up those debts.
Well, I was 5 for 5 for the last time
Yeah.
before we went. If everybody's doing their homework, and now that's what she has to wear.
And I was saying before the show, her jacket here is very similar to the one you wore in Meet the Schmoes.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Dracula jacket.
Yeah.
My fashion choices are
You
not
took it
off
from
of Finstock.
Finstock.
It really
They're
is, though.
not cut.
I can get that collar elongated for you if you want.
I'm
so
good.
basically, you'll
I'm
be
good.
sitting there with it like this,
Great. That's just what I want. I
and
feel
then
like
nobody could see you from the sides.
Guys, we got a caller.
It'd be pretty
Do we
amazing.
now?
Caller on the line?
Caller on the line.
Hello,
All right.
caller on the
Oh,
line.
it's little Bobby.
Poof.
Oh,
Oh no.
no.
I hung up on him.
Thank you.
Good. He
I was like,
well, he didn't make it back from New York. He tried to smuggle a little thing of razors from the Dollar Shave thing, and they were like, "You can't bring this guy back." And I'm like, you know what? I told him to go screw off. I think he's in like Queens or something like that.
He'll probably make it here eventually. We'll
Yeah.
also be back in our other studio probably
Yeah,
next
it's
week.
a
We're
little
doing
different.
renovations. So we are in our second location right now. And
Yeah, this
you
is
might see
the-
us here once in a while, but we will be back in
It's
the
the
other
insane
studio
asylum
soon.
set.
It's so nice.
No, it's beautiful. I like it.
Except for that blinding
when you
light.
go
I
crazy and
can't
you just
see
jump off the stuff.
anything. All right, let's get
If I had a sex
into.
dungeon, I'd
We're
make it
going to
look
get
like this.
into the numbers, guys. Box office numbers from this past weekend. All right, let's start with number 5. If my stuff will load, which it will not. So let's go off the paper.
Let's go with the paper.
Let's start with number 5, Museum Secret of the Tomb, brought to us by Fox, bringing in $14 million. So,
Not bad.
not bad at all. Then, for its opening weekend, taking the 4th spot, why are you shaking your head in disgust? The Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death, with $15 million. JT already seems like he's going to have a lot to
It's
say.
not a good movie.
Okay.
The Woman in Black 1 wasn't good.
Yeah,
We-
so why make a sequel?
We will get into that because
Because
for the
relatively-
opening weekend of January, there has to be some sort of horror movie, and people love or have to make sequels, it seems.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
relativity.
number 3, keeping the number 3rd spot because number 1, 2, and 3 have not budged for the past 2 weeks. Unbroken. Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. $18 million. Number 2, Into the Woods. $19 million. And holding on to that top spot, 3rd week in a row, The Hobbit: The Battle of Five Armies.
Your favorite movie?
It's not my
Not
favorite
your favorite,
movie.
but you love The Hobbit.
I love the franchise.
Yeah, I do too.
I love the material. I love New Zealand.
Yeah, you were gonna buy like New Zealand and like start your own like Hobbit.
No, I was thinking
Thing.
about buying Antarctica,
Hobbit thing?
but
Oh,
not
that's
buying
what
it.
it was.
I was
That's
just
what
going
it
to
was.
take over
yeah,
Antarctica.
yeah.
Can I just say that TBOFA, like T-BOFA, sounds like you got something bad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking about the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you have to take the time and say
Yeah.
the full title because it
Battle of
deserves
Five
it.
Armies.
Yeah.
T-Bofa.
Which is a changed title because it was not originally supposed to be called that. But
I wouldn't see
That's
that.
true. It's there and
yeah,
back again.
there
right?
and back again.
Yeah.
And then they changed it so that it could be more of a.
Wasn't The Hobbit one book?
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
why
was.
did they make 3 movies out
Well,
of it?
because there's the
Was it like
author
three-
wrote
like 3,000
amenities.
pages?
Yeah, there's also like a
extra
bunch
stuff that's
of
added.
other stories, but they did add in a ton of plot lines
Yeah.
to Battle of Five Armies characters, whatnot. The whole prequel trilogy had material added to it. So let's
AKA
talk
more
about. Yeah.
Let's talk
All
about
right.
this top 5.
Let's talk about these top 5.
I want to say Women in Black 2. They didn't even bring back Daniel Radcliffe. What's he doing? Was he done anything since Women in Black?
Is
He
he
had
in that
that movie Horns. In the first one, he was the star.
He was in Horns. He
Yeah.
also did an indie romantic movie where he was playing the
Oh, that's right, yes. I forgot
the
about
male
that one.
lead, and he was
But-
getting a little bit of
And
like.
he rapped on Jimmy Kimmel. It was actually really
And
good.
he had a huge. He's been doing a lot of theater. I know he had to.
I'm just
run
saying, like,
in
if you're gonna do
Aquarius or
a sequel to an average thriller horror movie, at least bring back the main character.
True. Well,
He
I
did a
mean,
voice in The Simpsons, guys. Come on.
Ah, did he?
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
No, but he's in Now You See Me Too, the next movie.
Is he really? Oh,
Yes.
I don't
That's
want-
getting a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
see?
he's got his Harry Potter wand.
You know what also bothers me is the Babadook, which is a great horror film that I saw over the break. This is taking money away from that movie when that movie is 100 times better than this thing.
Yeah, but that's an
But
indie
it's not
release.
taking
This
away
is
the
relatively-
Well, it
reviews,
should
and it's
have a
not
wider
taking away.
release.
Yeah.
I think it eventually might.
I
The
hope so.
Babadook, we talked about it here. I mean, it's.
It's
kind
also
of
been out for 8 months or so.
But people are still seeing it.
Badonkadonk.
People
Yeah.
are still going in and seeing it. It's holding
Mm-hmm.
a pretty strong tie in the specialty box office. Like, people are continuing to go see that movie because it is a good horror movie.
Yeah, it's been breaking people's top 10 list of the year.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
wonderful.
So-
Movies that aren't making people's top 10 lists: Woman in Black 2,
Yeah.
Night at the Museum.
Night at the Museum.
I mean, Into the Woods.
I every time I see the Into the Woods trailers and commercials, I want to kill. It's
Just
the
kill,
worst.
period?
It's such junk.
Okay.
It's junk personified.
Okay, I saw Into the Woods.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
I did. I saw it.
Did you enjoy it?
I love musical theater. I was in
okay.
Into the Woods.
So you're
I
in
went and I saw it, and I saw it for the
You're in the legit movie?
No, and I was in the musical.
There's a musical for that junk?
That's how it started.
Okay,
Thank you.
I didn't know.
Really?
I
You didn't know that? It's off like a very famous musical by Sondheim.
I know like Moulin Rouge in
Well,
Chicago.
the whole
that's all I know.
thing. This
And Grease.
is my biff whatever with Into the Woods is that the source material is like rated PG-13.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that die. There's affairs. There's all sorts of things, and so it's a very dark fairy tale
Is it a
thing.
PG movie though?
And they made it PG, and
hate
it's
that.
still like, but there's still like flickers of like people still are dying. It just kind of gets pushed aside, so you don't really like see or feel the death. It's like off frame, you know. It's a
Sure.
Disney movie, and it just for me it didn't really hit. I was like, who are you selling this to?
So it wasn't really true to the source material. It was very
Oh,
much.
no, they
it was-
changed things.
They changed a lot, and they
Well,
made it
they
more
did.
of a
lightened up.
family PG
yeah,
thing.
They
yeah,
dumbed
they
it down.
kept some of the deaths,
Jeez,
and
come on.
they like kept in like the affair turns into like just kissing, but it's still like cheating.
Isn't that
so
the
you're
same
throwing
thing
into
they
like
did
little
with,
kids.
the same thing they did with Maleficent or whatever it's called.
No, but that was edgy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not as
It was
edgy as I
much
heard it
darker.
was.
But
It was pretty dark, actually.
I mean,
Okay.
if you take like all of Grimm's fairy tales, those
Yeah.
are all
Oh,
very
yeah.
dark. And
Sure.
Disney definitely, in their animated films and the classicals and all their live action, they do make it nicer. I think they actually did a good job with Maleficent. Like they
Yeah,
created
I
their
thought
own
they did good,
story.
too.
Like,
Some of the hardcore fans are pretty upset about it though.
yeah, I mean, people are going to be,
But it
especially
wasn't-
if.
Maleficent wasn't based on a book or a play or anything. It was
it's a-
original.
No, it's
Yeah,
a,
but she's like a whatever she was, right?
she's a character
She
from
plays a
Sleeping
character
Beauty.
from Sleeping Beauty, yeah. I
Who's a
mean,
murderer.
I'm not a huge fan of musicals. They seem to be coming out a lot around the holidays. There was another movie, Annie, which is also a musical that came out, which is doing okay.
Did much better than I thought it was going to do.
I mean,
I thought that movie was going to tank based on reviews, based on it
Yeah,
being leaked.
leaked, yeah.
I thought that Annie was going to be non-existent, and it is done very well for a musical in its genre.
It's gonna crack $90 million probably.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Not bad at all.
There's a fan base to it.
I'm just not the target audience for those movies.
No, my niece is. She's like 2 or 3. She liked it.
And he got. Didn't you get that for her for Christmas?
Yeah, I got it for
or
her.
holidays?
There was
you did?
I had a screener of it.
Screener.
You're not supposed to say that.
No, I had I got it from somewhere, and there was no DVD cover, so I had to draw like a DVD cover because she can't read or anything like that. So I had to like make a picture on it, and it was a bad drawing.
I'm sure
Why
that
is it
it's
bad?
kind of sweet that
Well,
you
it was
tried.
It was like a stick figure girl with like red hair, and yeah,
So it was the
wasn't great.
original Annie.
Yeah, but she was like, I made her like, sort of like what she looked like in this movie.
I'm not going to dive into that.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there. Let's talk. We have 2 more movies on our top 5 list, and then we're going to go back, I think, and talk a little bit about more movies that were released this December. Unbroken.
Yeah.
Angelina
Yes.
Jolie.
Doing really well.
Doing very well, holding on to the 3rd spot with $18 million this week, as we talked about. Definitely a story of independent triumph. It's been getting really good reviews.
Yep, I saw it.
It's funny, though, because I feel as good as the reviews have been, and as much as it's been hyped up because of her name, I don't feel like, at least from what I've been hearing, that it's an award contender.
No, that's what they were hoping for. I think that's just from the trailers, the commercials. They're really pushing, Angie directing, sung by the Coen brothers who actually helped write it. They're really pushing for that Oscar bait, but while it's a really good movie, I saw it and I really enjoyed it. It's not.
People
it's not
aren't
that
putting
level.
it in that realm. They're not, and they're not saying it's bad, and they're seeing it, and they're spending money on it. It's just not getting the award appeal.
That's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's
Well,
a
and that's part of the reason it is getting money. It's because it's off of a book,
Sure.
yeah.
and it
Sure.
was a well-known book, and it's a good story. And
Absolutely.
It's really seeing out. I see it as like a stepping stone for Angelina Jolie. Her first film in the Land of Blood and Honey, which was a really well-directed film. I was really impressed. This is just her with a bigger budget and some better people around her, like Roger Deakins did the cinematography. It's fantastic.
He's one of the best.
And she's not at that award level yet, but if she keeps on this path, she could get there.
this is my question: do you think that if in this movie she had cast an A-list star as the lead, it would have been up for awards?
No, because he is not the problem with the movie. He's great in the movie. I think it's just.
But just because sometimes great doesn't mean they always get. Normally, if you put someone in there who people feel deserves an award, but like hasn't got one, like we'll talk about American Sniper with Bradley Cooper. Like if you put that actor in there who's kind of poised to be at that level already, then people kind of rally behind them and kind of push it more for awards, or that it's that great because they expect one out of them.
I agree. Maybe it would have pushed for like a Best Actor award, but I don't think they would have helped it anywhere as far as like directing or Best Picture
I don't
or
think,
script or anything.
I agree with both of your points, but I think that the Academy is not ready to have Angelina Jolie up with the likes of Clint Eastwood and Fincher for a Best Picture nod.
Okay.
I disagree. I think they want her to. They're just waiting for her to make a movie that's capable.
Well,
of
eventually.
Also, but
She's
you have
a
to look at
Hollywood
it.
darling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time. It's time. Like she's been in
Eventually.
this industry for very long, and she's continued to build and build and build her career, and she is getting good reviews. And she's, when you're comparing her to Clint Eastwood, she's young.
Yeah.
She definitely has time.
But she's like the lead Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not going to get he gets nominated, but he's
Eventually,
won.
he will probably get.
Well, she won an
He's
Oscar.
gonna
She won
win.
for Girl
Yeah.
Interrupted, Best
Well, yeah.
Supporting.
But
All
people
right,
look at her
let's
as
get
an actor,
into
not a
the
director.
last
That could
movie
change,
on
though.
our list, The Hobbit of Battle of Five Armies, just holding on to that spot. We all knew this was going to happen. It's
Yeah.
not a big surprise. The only thing that could have been a contender would have been Into the Woods. But
Yeah.
it could have over time, but it hasn't shown that way.
It's the winter blockbuster of all these films. Everything here is family entertainment or Oscar bait. This is the only thing that has that wide net that everybody wants to go see, and it's a franchise. So it's really what was going to pull the money. I'm surprised nothing really came close
Well,
to it.
let's talk about a movie that maybe could have if it had a wide release before we get to international numbers. The
Okay.
Interview.
Oh, the
Because we've
Interview,
kind
yeah.
of been
We gotta
out
talk
of
about
the
this.
realm
What movie's
for.
that?
Let's talk about The Interview
That has
before
no
we get
box office
into.
merit.
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard your guys' opinion on this. I can give.
Yeah.
I can start the conversation with saying that I work with one of the theaters that did show The Interview.
Bravo.
And it was quite interesting. There was a number of people complaining about us showing it. There was a couple of
What?
people praising
What
it
were
for
they
us showing it.
complaining?
Oh, everything
Oh,
under
my
the
God.
sun. Everything from like how could we endorse a movie about political blah 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 about the military being involved.
Good Lord.
You hear everything.
Do you have extra
To people-
security over there?
We did have to notify LAPD
Really?
that we
okay.
were going to be showing the film and to have them in the area. Yeah, we had to call. We had to call all of our security, make sure.
Any kind of like little disturbances or anything?
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
No.
And it was packed for the
Awesome.
first week, and then just died.
Yeah,
And
'cause
now
it was-
one person will come. Like it just completely
think-
plummeted.
Really, that bad? Well, I saw it
Horribly.
Christmas Day. I went at 11 o'clock in
I
the
think
morning,
most people have.
and it was sold out. Like, I got a ticket, but it was packed. And I thought it was really funny. I enjoyed the hell out of it. There was no problems at my theater. Everyone seemed really cool. I understand maybe they love the movie. I mean, it's not the best movie of the year, but it was very entertaining for doing what they was trying to do. And I will say the reason I think maybe it dropped off a lot is because this thing, once it went online for
Streaming,
sale,
crazy.
not only that, you can find it anywhere now. Just any
Yeah.
pirated site, which I don't,
I also think it was
But I think
semi-oversaturated.
that's true too.
And people were just like, I'm sick of this. I don't even care what this movie is. And
Maybe.
people were angry that, there's a possibility of starting World War III with it.
Wow, people clapped at the end of my movie? Did they?
See,
do
I saw it
yours?
in different. I saw it in a very empty theater,
okay.
so the movie felt very long. I think the interview is the type of movie that thrives actually. I think in a theater atmosphere,
Totally agree.
you need like that laugh track of people in your audience who all sing it together. That's what makes that movie good.
Yeah, I can say
Seeing
that.
it streaming and seeing
Yeah.
it when it's. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Thank you. That's what it needed. It was so much better. Oh wow. We're hilarious. I don't think it's gonna. There we go.
Most laugh tracks are still from the recorded from the 50s. So most people you hear laughing are already dead.
Oh, that's so depressing.
That's really depressing.
It's true though. They
that
laugh.
true?
Yeah, they're laughing from the grave.
That's really depressing. But I think that movie, like the reviews on it, everything, it is hurt by the fact that it can't be shown in. It isn't being shown as much in the big theaters. It wasn't released that way.
I just think a lot of people didn't rally behind it to like save America. Like, yeah, we're gonna go see this to support America. I don't think it's one of those movies.
I think some people did do it just for that though. Like a cousin
There
of
was
mine.
a couple of people who did it. Yeah.
Yeah, a cousin of mine called me, and I was like, "Oh, I just saw an interview." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's the movie about the North Korean thing." I was like, "Yeah, it's funny." He goes, "I'll tell you something. I had no interest in seeing it before." He goes, "But I'm seeing it now."
Oh, of
'Cause,
course.
no way I'm gonna let them. And I was like, "Yeah."
A lot of
there's
people
a lot of
just
people
saw-
that feel that way.
If they want to support something
I bet it
American,
was
they should go
crazy.
see American Sniper. That's a hell of a lot
Oh
better.
yeah, but that's not available.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about now our international numbers.
International.
And there's a lot to say, so
Yeah.
bear with me for a minute.
This is the end of the year wrap up.
All right, the final installment of Peter Jackson's Middle Earth prequel trilogy added 52.5 million from 65 markets on a worldwide basis. The Hobbit has now earned $723 million, which, with international numbers, ranks it fifth among the 2014 releases.
It's a lot of money.
International, yes.
Yeah, I mean that's $1 billion franchise.
It's going to do $1 billion.
Oh,
And he could win things like the third
No.
Lord of the Rings one though.
Yeah,
no,
they're not that
no,
level.
it might be nominated for something in like sound
Special
or
effects.
something,
Maybe.
Yeah.
but nothing too huge, I guess.
Dwarfs ain't gonna vote for
Let's
it,
talk
that's
about
fair.
Exodus: Gods and Kings, which earned 31.4 million this weekend, including 8 million debut in Russia. It held first place in Brazil with 4.5 million, and to date, Ridley Scott's biblical epic has grossed 141.5 million, and it still has 6 markets left.
It's not huge numbers.
Not huge, and it's kind of, it's reflecting what it did here. It flopped.
I believe
It flopped here.
Big time.
I believe the budget was around 170. So
Yeah, they wanted 140 domestic, and then whatever else for foreign. It's not
Yeah.
a good result.
No, I'm a little surprised. I thought it was going to do stronger numbers
Yeah,
overseas
same
just
here.
because of the content and the timing. I wasn't surprised that much that it didn't do well here,
Box
per
office.
se.
The box office is too crowded.
True. That's a good point.
I should have released this in like January. Probably made some money.
Or like a couple months ago when there was nothing for
True.
a couple weeks.
September.
All right,
Everybody wants to bark the big-
Night
bark at
at
the
the
big dogs.
Museum, which came in for us at number 5, internationally unearthed 25.7 million this weekend. It repeated first place in Mexico, 4 million, and also had a solid debut in Brazil, who seems to be bringing in a lot of
People in Brazil
money
going to
in
movies
the
nowadays.
exactly
Yeah.
$3.1 million there. The franchise has earned 91.2 million so far, and still has 5 of the top 10 markets left. So
It's not bad. It's the last one you'll
Exodus
see of them,
and
though.
Night of Museum are both still opening up internationally. They still have more markets to reach.
Ben
And
Stiller is still a pretty big draw when it comes overseas.
He is.
They love comedies down there.
It's true.
but like talking about it, that's a lot of money internationally to be
Yeah.
bringing in this past weekend. And I think that does reflect this past month. Yes, that is a leaf blower. Hello.
Yeah.
I can
Wow, well, this is.
I can hear that.
Yeah, I can too.
That's very loud.
very
I'm
loud.
sorry, guys. I'm just gonna talk over it.
Let's just do a quick Jeopardy theme song.
I don't think that's gonna help. I think it's gonna. I mean,
Stop,
it does.
stop.
Did it stop?
Yeah.
I think
See,
it stopped.
the Jeopardy
There we go.
theme song always works.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. And then we'll get into Taken 3, which we're going to be talking about in our
Yeah.
upcoming. But
Opened already.
it's already opened. 8.2 million in South Korea and 1.3 million in Hong Kong. In both markets, its debuts were significantly above Taken 2. I can speak. Maybe it's the new year. Forgive me. So that movie and Taken 2 ended up with 236 million
Wow,
outside
no
the
wonder
U.S.
They're doing a 3.
Now, in
Yes.
Hong Kong, it's called Liam Neeson Kills Every Single
We're
Person.
not to
ever.
your game yet.
Oh, okay.
Hold your horses.
Okay.
All right. Another movie we're going to talk about a little bit early is American Sniper, which seemed like, well, according to my rating, it seemed like a movie that wouldn't have much chance at the international box office, taking after Lone Survivor and Zero Dark 30, which fell short of 40 million overseas. However, it opened in Italy this weekend, and the movie has earned already 6.3 million. So that's doing really well.
yeah.
It's the biggest debut ever for Clint Eastwood movie, and it reaches the UK on January 16th, the same as the US expansion, and it opens in Australia a week later.
It's funny because you were talking earlier about Unbroken, how like maybe if it had a bigger star, it would have a bigger Oscar push. And while Unbroken's still doing good, I think American Sniper really is pulling this money because of Bradley Cooper.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
He's a
absolutely.
movie star.
And he also does have a really strong, I believe, international appeal.
Yeah,
I know he also, I want to say I know he speaks fluent French, and he's done a lot of
really?
interviews there.
And the TV
If I
spots are
can.
pretty intense.
Yeah.
I really like the TV spots, and the trailer's great too. And it's been all over the football. It's been all over everything.
Yeah.
I think like the two genres that really play well worldwide are comedy and big budget kind of action movies.
Sure.
And Bradley with The Hangovers, I mean, even though he really was kind of star of this movie, even though Zach, that included like movies like A-Team
Yeah.
and some of the other stuff he's done.
He's a big star.
Yeah.
he's
He's
really
got,
starting
he's got a shot at
come to his own.
winning Best Actor for this.
Well, that's the thing is he's on that list of people he's been just doing incrementally well,
Yeah.
and people really like him, and he's appealing, and he's a strong actor, and people want to see him get acknowledged. So this is the type of role that I'm talking about. This is the type
Yeah.
of A-lister that I think can pull that audience. Now you can go into your game.
Oh yeah, perfect. The first one of the year.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Step it up for 2015.
You know it. Foreign movie titles for American movies.
American movies, yeah.
Yes, bizarre foreign movie titles.
Okay.
First one.
I do have a funny joke.
My buddy Yuri has been helping me with this. He's my
Okay.
Facebook friend's a great guy and fellow Schmoeville.
Oh, nice. Shout out.
Yeah, he's doing his homework.
Great.
First one is coming from Slovenia, which is obviously getting good. No one's gonna beat China, but this is getting good.
Okay. Good.
Coyote Ugly
Oh.
in Slovenia
Okay.
is called Fine Bitches. Okay.
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 Italy.
Poof.
Italy. Jacob's Ladder
Oh,
is
good
called
movie.
Perverted Hallucination.
That's kind of correct.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a messed up movie, but
This one's from
perverted?
Hungary.
Hungry.
Teeth.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You've had a
It's-
good choices
it's
of like
called
movies initially on this.
Female Anatomy Destroyer.
Ooh, that's pretty on point.
China.
Okay.
Twister
Ooh.
is called Run Run Cloudzilla.
That's ridiculous.
I want that one to be true.
That's got to be fake. Cloudzilla.
I want it to be true.
Yeah, from China. It's just so good over there.
Cloudzilla. Oh, it's from China.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Cloudzilla.
So basically, I'll run them down again. In Slovenia, Coyote Ugly, with Piper Paraboo, and
Yeah.
actually went to the Coyote Ugly.
Okay,
sorry.
continue.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It's called Fine Bitches.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Italy, Jacob's Ladder is called Perverted Hallucination.
Okay.
That's tough.
Hungarian, whatever they do over there. Teeth is called Female Anatomy Destroyer. In China, Twister, the Helen Hunt Pullman movie.
Stop.
Run,
Bill Paxton.
Cloudzilla.
I just want that one to be true. So I'm going to say that fine bitches is a lie.
Okay.
This is tough.
I'm gonna say Hungarian, the teeth
The teeth?
destroyer. Teeth
Yeah.
one's wrong. That's
I-
the fake one.
That's,
Okay.
that's what I'm going with too, just because I don't think they would put destroyer. That feels like a weird word. I want the Cloudzilla. The Cloudzilla one's pretty bad too.
I
though.
really want Godzilla to be true,
If
though.
that's true, I'm gonna love it. But
Helen Hunt in the movie of the summer, chasing tornadoes in Run Run Cloudzilla.
that's pretty good.
It is.
What is it?
You guys are right. It's Hungarian teeth. It's,
Yes.
I always lose this game.
yeah, it's
I'm
called
horrible.
like something vagina in the word or something like that. I'm not really sure. But
All right.
I
but
mean,
fine bitches is real.
I'm just glad.
So is
I'm just
perverted
so
hallucination.
happy that Cloudzilla
Zilla,
is real.
that
That's the
is
only part that I really
It
care
knocks my
about.
socks off
That's
wanna-
wonderful.
every time I do it.
That might be one of my favorite ones that you've
Yeah.
found.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I want I want to see their poster version of that.
I can get it for you
Is it a
guys.
giant
I'll tweet
cloud
about it later.
with the
Yeah,
shape of
it's-
Godzilla?
Yeah, they're just doing things over there that are just so monumentally good.
Cloudzilla. Wow.
Oh, that was awesome.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so
All
that's,
right.
Stay
that's
puft.
congratulations, Stephen JT.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, thank you.
Stephen and
You're
JT.
gonna win eventually on something.
Eventually. Maybe the mask will bring me good luck next week. We
Oh,
will
you
see.
sure will.
We will see. All right, now we get into our top 5 list.
Yep.
First one of the year, and we're going to be talking about last year. Top 5 grossing films of 2014, and this is domestic.
Yes, domestic.
So let's get into the top 5. Alrighty,
Good epic.
number 5,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Transformers.
Thank God it's not number
Age
one.
of
Thank God.
Extinction.
Thank God it's not
Thank
number one.
the
It's
Jesus.
number one worldwide, by the way.
Thanks, baby
But thank
Jesus.
God it's not number one in the States.
I agree with that. I rewatched this.
You rewatched
I
it? Why?
rewatched it. I
Why?
rewatched
Because she
it.
likes Mark Wahlberg, probably. Just take his shirt off or something. I would never
My
watch
favorite part of
movie.
that whole movie is the Dinobots, and like I remember
Yeah, for
watching
the
in
last
theaters
5
and
minutes.
waiting for so long for them to come out. Like,
Yeah.
and then they finally came out, and it was the best scene in the entire movie when he like
I saw
wrangles
that.
them.
Were you there with the Schmoes? We saw it actually on the Fox lot.
No, I would never watch that movie.
No, it was the Paramount lot. It was the Paramount lot. And I remember just sitting in that theater thinking, I don't care.
I would have just.
At that point, I didn't care if the Dinobots.
I would have sold my
like
ticket and went to the coffee shop and hit
All
on
right,
every
well-
chick that was there.
People
it was
did
bad.
seem to like it because it has made, ready, $245.4 million.
Yes.
I think that's
And that's
less
only
than the
domestic.
other ones, though, as far as domestic.
It is.
It is. So at least it's starting to, wear down a little bit.
Well,
course.
it's also who they targeted with this release was definitely not us.
China.
Numbskulls.
China. All
Why
right,
was this called
let's
in
talk
China? It's
about
probably Transformers.
number.
Called like, hey,
You have to watch
anything.
this.
Name it anything, and we'll see
All right, the Lego Movie.
That's what it was
The
called.
Lego Movie, one of my favorite original works of this year. The Lego Movie came in at number 4.
Love Lego movie.
257 point.
I watched,
much,
I
pretty
watched
much
it over the
0.8.
holidays.
Did you? Would
You
you?
did?
It's
Yeah, I was,
great, right?
and niece was running around. I put it on. She
Did
was
you kinda
watching
like it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
so
okay.
good.
It was good. I mean, I was a big Lego fan as a child. So
It's one of the smartest written comedies this year.
Right? I thought it was
It's
and
clever.
and everyone
good.
can
So good.
watch it, and it was
Yeah.
smart,
Very good.
and it was well done, and it was
Yeah.
visually appealing. I really liked it.
Well done, movie.
Number 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Thank you.
Yes.
259.7.
Taking over.
Yep.
you know,
Well, the whole franchise. Like,
It's Marvel.
the thing
Marvel's
is,
a
what we're
brand,
talking about
too.
here. I mean, you've got all of these have the potential to be franchises on this list.
Sure.
None of them I really
Well,
think
Lego
are.
movie is the only one that's it's based on. A
I
toy,
said
but-
potential.
Yeah,
I said
okay.
potential to be a franchise
Gotcha.
because they could easily make a Lego movie too.
now there's gonna be
Like,
10 of them.
yeah. Let's getting into number 2, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1.
Damn.
How much did that
Yeah,
make?
you thought
How
that-
much did that make over there?
Well, I thought it was gonna be
wait.
number 1.
316
Yeah.
million?
Well, no, 330, 23. No?
I'm talking about
We're talking
domestic.
about Hunger Games.
Oh
Hunger
yeah.
You said it had a
Didn't
chance.
you say? I think we
Yeah.
bet against him.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you
sure we
did.
did.
I think we
said-
won.
We basically
That
said
one
no way.
That one I did lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you some credit. It was close. It was only about a 15 to 20 million difference. But number one, go ahead, Sarah.
Number
Go
one,
down number one.
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy. Come on.
Galaxy.
It was the smash hit of the year.
And it was one of my also favorite movies of the year.
Let me ask you this:
Okay.
Were you a bigger fan of Captain America 2 or Guardians? Both Marvel films. Which one did you like
Guardians.
more? Wow, you looked at me like that was a ridiculous question.
I did, because to me it was.
Finstock, did you see
I
them both?
really, really liked
did.
Guardians.
I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy a little more because I like the tongue-in-cheek humor that goes along with it.
I liked the humor. I liked the music. I thought it was something different.
I'm gonna, yeah. It
But
was
here's
way
the,
different.
I totally agree with that. Seeing as they're not very popular, they weren't well known. It's very different than any other Marvel films. I think that has a lot to do with it, and I think James Gunn did a great job directing. I'm very impressed with Captain America because Captain America is probably, when you laid out this whole Marvel universe, I was like, that's going to be the hardest character to make into a hit franchise. Thor, I could see, you got the epicness, because he is kind of a corny character back in the day, the way he's dressed and everything. Even people complain in Avengers, like,
Absolutely.
he looked like he was in pajamas. I thought he looked awesome. So for me to see them make this sequel that much better, I'm just happy it's in the top 3.
I will completely concede that
Yeah.
point to you. I think it was smart. I think they've done well for the franchise. I don't think they've been backstepping. I do think that they've been adding on to the appeal of their movies. I think that they are doing well visually and character-wise. Just to me, as a
Marvel's-
general movie, which one would I rather watch more? It's going to go to Guardians
Yeah.
over the two. Hell, I don't know what that sound is, but
Pretty
it's
destroying.
something else.
Yeah.
We are under construction. No.
We are under construction.
So
We
let's,
are.
before we get into our upcoming films of the week, since we just talked a little bit about 2014, I do want to throw this out because I talked to you guys a little about it. Just 'cause I find it fascinating that in film they talk about how there's the big 6 companies, like the big 6 studios.
Sure.
And this year in 2014, Disney with Buena Vista did incredible. They got 4
They
out of the
crushed.
top 10.
They crushed.
They're going to do really well this year, too.
Yeah, they're just killing it. Also, you were talking about
but-
other records being broken internationally.
that's
Disney
right.
had
For
some of the top 10, but Fox, yeah.
Yeah.
Fox broke like the all-time yearly record with like $5.5
That's including
billion.
international, right?
Including international.
Yeah.
Everything, yes.
$5.5 billion.
That's crazy
Shattered the
town.
record, which previously was by Paramount in 2011 with $3.5 billion. I believe that's what the number was.
Yeah.
So they destroyed
Shattered it.
And that's because of Dawn, which
Yep.
is not only doing huge here but internationally.
Yep.
One of my favorite films of the year, which I wish was in the top 5 for most grossing, was X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Sure.
One of
Gone
my
Girl made a ton of money for them, too.
Yeah, and Gone Girl. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a couple more in there that just...
And they have a lot of mid-range stuff, too, that's really, really good.
And, Disney is the big dog, but right now...
Well,
Fox is killing it.
Yeah, they're killing it. But
Well, they put out
both
more.
are doing
Yeah,
huge.
They have more stuff out.
And then on the other end, we have, I think, Sony, which was considered one of the big 6, has been completely dropping
Yeah.
off. It is not in the
Doing
top 10.
horrible.
It wasn't in the top 10 of
Yeah.
2013's films. The last movie it had in the top 10 was going to be Skyfall.
Yes.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well, they were really hoping for Spider-Man 2 to be a huge movie, and it made the least amount of any Spider-Man movie so far.
But they're still considered a big 6, and I think that they're
Yeah.
going to be replaced by Lionsgate, which
Absolutely.
has had movies in the top 10 for the past couple of years. But the only interesting part of that, which I'm sure you'll be so happy about based on your Transformers love,
Are they
is that
making
people
another
in
one?
China have tried to buy stock in Lionsgate. There's
really?
there's
Not a bad idea.
Oh, who is it? It's a really
They
big
really
millionaire who has like a huge cinema franchise in China
Mao
is trying
Zedong.
to kind of take a little bit of buying part of the parent company of Lionsgate.
And they're the ones that
So-
started Twilight, Lionsgate, right? And then
No,
they-
Summit.
Summit.
Summit started
And then
Twilight and Lionsgate acquired
Gotcha.
Summit,
And
if
then-
my facts are right.
Sony's making their money off the PlayStation.
It's true.
And they make
division,
a ton of
different
money
division.
off.
All
And
this-
TV. They do a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Disney,
Well,
though.
I mean, they're still a huge company.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking about, well, we have our 6 movie studios, and Sony's been dropping off on the rankings, and
You're right.
Lionsgate's been moving up. And that's something to take note of, especially when it comes into the numbers that we talk about every weekend. So,
Let me ask you this real quick. With Fox breaking 5.5 million this year worldwide,
5.5 Billion?
Sorry,
Yeah.
billion.
Thank you.
Do you think Disney has a chance to top that this year because they have Avengers and Star Wars?
Star
Oh,
Wars.
you know what?
No, Star Wars is
Star Wars.
Paramount, right?
Here's the thing, though. No, Star Wars is Disney.
No,
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars is Disney.
Oh, yeah, they bought it.
The only reason why I don't think they will is because Star Wars doesn't come out until Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not really going to count for this year.
Yeah, but it's
gonna make a shitload.
Yeah, but
of
it might make like $500 million in one day.
How much do you think it'll make in 2 weeks?
What I heard is they're not
I
going
have to see how
they're
many
not going to have
cameras.
anything else in the theaters at the time. So 12 theaters.
It's just going to play in every
It's going
single
to play in
theater.
17,000 theaters across America, and it should because everybody in the world's going to see it. It's going to make like $1 zillion.
They should just project on the moon and
We
tune
will-
your radio station.
That's pretty much it.
We're going to have to talk about our Star
unbelievable.
Wars predictions because that is now officially this year. But let's talk about next weekend a little bit before we have to go. January films.
Yes.
We have Taken 3, Selma, and Inherent Vice coming out next week. So
Yeah.
let's talk a smidge
Let me-
about them.
Let me just say, first of all, this is an interesting time because, as the schmoes usually say, January, February, they're kind of garbage months. You know, it's kind of a garbage time. A lot of studios throw the movies that they don't, they're just throwing them in there because they know they're crap. No one's really going to see them. There's nothing out, so they're hoping people go see it. The only upside is movies like Selma and Inherent Vice, which we have been lucky to see these last month or so.
You have. I have not
Yeah,
seen
you have
Selma.
not, but people in LA and New York have been able to see these movies in certain, smaller theaters.
Yes.
They're starting to expand.
Yes.
So a lot of films that we've been praising for the last month or so, I think, basic people are actually going to finally get to see.
Yes.
So while the new releases are going to be kind of crap, you're finally getting those Oscar bait movies coming out.
Yes.
In a much wider release. So it's not
they're
a
doing
horrible
pretty
time
well.
to go to movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Taken 3.
Yeah, that's the big one
Which
to
it
talk
feels
about.
like it's about Taken 103.
Well, it's because he's done movies like Taken and
Yes.
besides Taken.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're just bambooseling
Yeah.
What,
people.
is this his third of the year?
It's like unknown.
pretty much
there's
within
nonstop.
a year? Not exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where's the trench
He just
coat?
keeps coming out with them. Film
Gets
24/7.
on a phone like JT.
But
so,
I mean, Taken 3, Taken 1 made 24 opening weekend, and
But it
then
made
raised
200
like
million
crazy,
plus.
and then
Yeah.
Taken 2 made 50 million opening weekend. I think Taken 3 is probably going to hold on to that around that ballpark.
I'm curious because
What else is in that genre?
In a world where people enjoy seeing Liam Neeson kick ass, Taken 3, a movie that probably shouldn't have been made, but was made. See it in theaters now.
See?
run.
run. Trench coat. Here's the thing. The thing about these Taken movies is they cut good trailers.
They do.
Like the marketing's really well, and it kind of reminds you of that first movie. So you're going in with the hope. Part 2 is not good.
Yeah.
But you're going with the hope that you recapture some of that Part 1 magic. And everywhere I go, I'm seeing billboards for Taken 3. Taken 3 on the TV.
Yeah. They're saying this is it.
The final chapter.
Well, if this one does a ton of money, I think like maybe he'll die in Taken 4 in the beginning, and then come back as like a ghost, like Steven Seagal did in that one movie, and then just kill everybody. But like,
Okay.
Do like
You know what
some
I
good
hate
stuff.
about the
like a
marketing?
soap opera actor.
Okay.
They've been doing this Taken thing where they put the 3 where the E is supposed to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is the worst. I don't know. I never
Well,
really
it
got. I
doesn't-
never
it does-
understood
it
that.
Yeah, but
doesn't bother
I know
me
the
that
story
much.
behind that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You have
Is there a
20
story?
seconds.
It started with the movie Seven.
Oh yeah. well,
The
they-
marketing director, it was dyslexic. Okay.
Okay.
And you know how they had 7 in there?
Yeah, they had the number 7.
He thought it was a V. So he brought the one sheets in, and he was drunk as well.
5 seconds.
And then they seen it, and they're like, "Oh, this is perfect." And then he's like, "Oh man, he dodged a bullet."
He has
Now-
a very specific set of
Wow,
skills.
you did that whole story in
replacing
20
letters
seconds.
with
I'm
numbers.
really proud of you. Good job.
He's a dyslexic.
You
so
can't
drunk
say
guy,
any
but-
more about it. You did it in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That was good. That
so
was
now they
good.
just used. That's
No,
where they
no,
started
no.
with the.
You stop
Okay.
at the 20
Hey
seconds.
guys, just a heads up. In the Popcorn Talk logo, those are actually zeros.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right, so let's get into our predictions, see how Taken 3 and Selma and Inherent Vice are going to change this game. All right.
Not much.
Well, JTE, then you're starting since you seem to have so much
Well-
to say. You have so much attitude on the subject.
The one thing we didn't really get to mention is Selma is expanding. Go see this movie. It was
Selma's
my
expanding.
favorite film of the year.
Mine
It's
too.
endorsed by Oprah.
It
And
is. She's in
it's
it.
up probably for, it's
This-
going to be up for awards.
It will.
It's gonna
And
win
it's
Best Picture.
supposedly amazing.
Best
so,
Picture.
I think it's Best Picture.
It better get nominated.
I think Obama should call a state of emergency and lock everybody in America in their house, and then just stream this movie 24 hours and let people watch it. And
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, and you liked it that much, and that's why you're saying
I
this?
thought it was the best movie of the year.
Awesome. All
I
right,
actually
very
shed
cool.
a little bit
I'm
of a
with
tear.
you.
Well,
It was my number one.
let's talk about the numbers for predictions, please. JTE.
All right, I'm gonna go. Listen, Taken 3 is gonna be number 1.
With how much money?
Really, how much do I think it's going to make? I think it's going to make close to 30.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to bring the 50 that part 2 in because it was
agree.
universally not liked. I never ran into one person that said, "Oh yeah, Take Two wasn't bad." They were all like, "Take Two was horrible compared to the first one."
Yeah.
But like I said, they cut a good trailer. And
They do?
I think the trailer for this one even has me interested in kind of seeing it. Even though I didn't like part 2, I was like, "Oh man, it looks badass. I got to go see it." There's that one scene where he hits a plane with his car, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I'll be there." So number 1's taken. Number 2, I'm gonna go Hobbit. I think it's still gonna stay strong. It's like, again, it's the only other thing on here that's like that got that blockbuster feel. Even though Taken, it's not a blockbuster. It is, but it's not the same level as Hobbit.
Okay.
Number 3, I'll stick with Into the Woods. I think that's gonna hold strong. I'm never gonna give up anything that's Disney related or even anything that's like fairy tale related. It's gonna have strong legs. This is where it gets tough. I'll go number 4. Oh man, I'm gonna go Selma because it's getting a lot of buzz. And like you said, the Oprah effect.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I would love if Selma was number 3, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be one of those. You think it's gonna be one of those?
I do. I
movies-
think it's gonna happen.
I think word of mouth. It's gonna be one of those movies that has a long life in the box office, but not everyone's gonna run out. Everyone's gonna take their time to go see it. And then number 5, I will go Woman in Black too because horror. It's horror. People like horror movies.
Men in
And there's
Black.
really nothing else to compete with it.
Unbroken.
Unbroken, yeah, I think that's
You don't think anyone from? I think that Taken 3 is gonna take away from Women in Black.
Absolutely.
maybe.
He's
But I'm
done.
going to stick with it.
Okay.
Because
All right.
I think people
All right.
that want to see a horror movie didn't go these last 2 weeks.
And,
So
and this new one, the first one, the 5. Oh,
Horror movies always like at the beginning of the year. Horror movies tank though.
I don't
That's
know.
true.
Horror
But
movies tank at the
there's
beginning.
nothing
Like
else
they
like
do
it on
strong for everyone who wants to go see a horror movie, and then they fall off.
If
But
there was anything to
we'll
compete
see.
with it, I don't think Taken. I said Tekken, which I was great at that game, by the way.
And these are the 3 things are the bets are. I think it's you get a Twitter if you lose this time.
That's after the mask. Yeah, my next thing is I'm gonna get a
Okay.
Twitter if I
Yeah.
lose. Blah, 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 blah.
I have to do the show naked.
No.
Who asked for that? I
Yeah,
didn't
no.
ask
I heard it from I think
Neither of
Roxy
us
asked for
asked.
it.
No.
it was Roxy.
I feel like
It's
this is
Roxy and
punishment
Alicia
for
and Tiffany.
us.
They like to watch it.
Oh,
And then the camera's gonna be
Can
under
you
the
do
table.
predict?
I'm kidding.
Oh, give us the one last thing.
And JT has to wear either some kind of like a hat, a see-through hat.
No, a onesie.
A onesie. Maybe.
onesie?
Yeah.
How about
Some sort of
snowsuit?
onesie.
Yeah, snowsuit.
No.
Oh,
some
it's-
sort- All
it's
right,
like
can
the
you give me your
Christmas
predictions, please, Mr. Finstock?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start with 5. I'm gonna go with the Angelina Jolie
Broken.
biopic.
Okay.
Unbroken. The 4, I'm going with the junk personified and Hobbit.
Oh.
Yeah. it's
You
gonna
moving
go
it
down.
below Into the Woods?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think people are gonna go see Into the Woods this week.
Okay.
There's a hell of a lot more promotion.
Okay.
3 is The Woods.
Okay.
Johnny Depp looks like an idiot in this movie. What a dunce that guy is. I can't wait to destroy Mordecai when we talk about it.
Oh, God.
Number 2 is the Selma.
Okay.
Wow. I hope
I
you're
might
right.
be with you on there. I'm really torn.
It's a powerful film.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody should watch it.
I agree.
Yeah. And number 1 is Taken 314.
Okay.
how many people he kills.
We are all over the board this week. I will start with
Killed
my number
300.
1, which I also think is
1,000.
going to go to Taken, was somewhere in the
It's going to do
35, 40
Okay.
mark.
it's going to do 27.
Okay. I said
Really?
25,
You think
30.
that's low? All right. My confusion is on Selma because
Yeah.
these type of movies have such a wide range
Mm-hmm.
of how they open. If you look at Unbroken, which is also like a tale of one person, it's an
Mm-hmm.
whatever, that opened at 30, but it was also Christmas. Then you have Oprah's whole run with all of her movies.
Mm-hmm.
When she opened The Butler, that opened at 25. But when she opened like 12 Years a Slave, which opened especially box office, but had huge nods in the award contenders, its highest weekend ever only grossed 8 million. That was
True.
its highest, and
but
the highest place it reached was
The subject
7.
matter on that was
True.
Yeah, and
True.
you can't forget Martin Luther King. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
And then-
such a celebrated guy. That's why I think it's going to do a little
Yeah,
He's a
and then
trendsetter.
this year she also did 100 Foot Journey, which was only like 11.
okay.
So you kind of have all. It can hit anywhere. I think it's probably. I'm gonna give him.
You're stressing over
Yeah, so much
Yeah.
stress.
What are you thinking?
This is difficult. Okay, number 1,
Your
Taken.
Twitter handle
Number
depends on it.
2, stop. Number 2, this is so hard. I'm having issues. I'm going to give it to Hobbit.
Okay.
Number 3, Selma. Number 4, we'll do Into the Woods. Number 5, we'll do Unbroken.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That's
Those are
what
pretty
we'll
close.
see.
I do think Selma does.
It depends
well.
how much Hobbit drops off.
If Selma does do very well, I think it's going to pull from Unbroken,
mean,
and that's why I pulled that.
The
on
thing
my
is,
top
The
five.
Hobbit only made 21 this weekend.
Done.
21, and that dropped 46. So if it drops like another,
5.
if it drops anything,
It's going to
then
drop
someone
about
could
35%.
make more than that.
That's my logic behind it.
How
It's
many-
just the only thing is
yeah.
people have been seeing movies so much this past month. Are they
Yeah,
going to want a little
that's-
bit of a break?
that's the
Are we going to
question.
see a fall? Because we saw, like, people haven't been seeing movies, and then there's been a huge spike this past month. It's done so well. My friend
Also-
called 2015 the hangover of 2014, so he said it's going to be the year of
Yeah.
sweatpants and
The
movies.
weather's going to be really bad on the East Coast
let's
and
not
Michigan
forget-
and all these other places.
The first round of the playoffs for the NFL starts this weekend.
Yep,
That's true,
so
too.
That's going to
There's
pull
stuff.
from. That's why I
So-
think it's going to pull from Taken,
Because
it's
chicks
gonna
will go
pull-
see, and that's what I think they're going to see Into the Woods.
and that's why I put Into the Woods a little more towards the front, is because I think
Yeah.
the moms and daughters will go catch some.
Right, and
Into
then
the Woods. Well,
Oprah-
the guys are watching football.
That's true.
Girls watch football too, though.
That's true.
Well, thank you guys for coming back and watching
one.
to us live in this different studio for this week. Please continue watching us on Popcorn Talk. Search for us on YouTube. Look at our Facebook page. Rate, comment, subscribe. I was seeing your live chat and I wanted to call out your guys' names because I've been reading them. My
Yeah.
computer is giving me the spinning wheel of death.
Oh no.
I can't see anything anymore. So
In the chat roll, we have Joseph
Thank you.
Heisenberg,
Thank
Crimson
you.
Knight 700, Rodney De La Cruz, Bob Effett, Shane, Emmanuel
Boba
Dominguez. Yeah, Bob Effett, right?
Great name.
And you guys
Jerome
have been
Lesso,
great.
Udaboot 11, and yeah, let's do Lucas Walsh and
They've-
Zaccardo FC.
they've been
Thanks,
great.
guys.
They've been saying a lot the whole time. We
Thanks,
do go
guys.
over your comments, and I'll be sharing all of your guys' thoughts. So
Perfect.
please stay tuned. Watch us again. Send us your predictions. We love you guys, and
Follow
happy
us
New
on
Year.
Twitter also.
Yeah, Twitter.
At Schmoes GTE.
At Bob Finstock.
There we go.
Keep watching those numbers.
See you guys.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.